Dana, what's going on? How you doing? We got Wayne. Shout out to Wayne, top of the morning, top of the morning. Shout out to Colorado. Shout out to Colorado. We'll get started here in a second, y'all. Just want to, let a few more people hopefully come and join in. You know. But anyway, how y'all doing today on this Monday? Shout out to Rob. Good morning. Flying Squirrel. Shout out to you. What's going on? Top of the morning. Top of the morning. Top of the morning. I know it's kind of early, y'all, so what's going on? What's going on? Yes, my name is half man, half amazing. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. What's going on, everybody, this morning, man? Talk to me, and I'll talk back. I know y'all see that title. I know some of y'all, a lot of y'all actually, have been hitting me up in my emails and everything, wanting me to go live to talk about this particular um want me to talk about this case. He shared. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. We're here to talk about it. But just in case you may be new to my channel or new to me and how I get down, I only speak about things that I have all information about, right? Now I can give my opinion on how I feel about certain things based off the information that I have already received. But other than that, I really don't be like, getting caught up in all that hype, so to speak. That's just never been me. You know what I'm saying? And anybody who knows me or if you've been following me on this channel, whatever the case may be, there's not a racist bone in my body. You know what I'm saying? There's not a racist bone in my body at all. I don't care what color you are. Wrong is wrong, right is right. Bottom line, whether it's, you know, my kids or somebody else's kids. What's wrong is wrong, is right, right is right. Bottom line, that's the way I was raised. That's my mentality. So, some people like it, some people don't. To each his own, But that's just who I am, though. So, just in case, if you're new, not really knowing too much of myself, that's my get out. So, right. That's good that you don't have no racist bar. I mean, listen, to be racist in 2026 is crazy. Like, let's just start there. Like, it is crazy if you're racist in 2026. Like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? I want to check that out, Dana. I want to check that out. But again, racism in 2026 is crazy. Like, you're not a part of this world. If you're still talking about racist or racism, or if you still have a dislike for somebody because of their skin color or whatever the case may be, like that don't even fly in 2026. My personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? But again, to each his own. You know, um, Danny said, "I'm not racist. I hate everybody." You're obviously correct on that. People being stupid, no room for it. There's no room for racism, bro, at all. There's no room. And like I always have said, and anybody go back to my old videos, whatever the case may be, I always said that racism is taught. Bottom line. Don't nobody grow up from an infant, sucking on the bottle, sucking on the nipple, being racist. Somebody that you know, parents, grandparents, friends, associates, whatever, teach you that. Teach you not to like that certain race because of this reason or because they had a bad experience with a certain race. So now they hate the whole entire race because they had one or two or even three bad experiences. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is totally about the individual's actions. Actions have consequences or rewards. Facts. Honestly, when you think about it, it's kind of crazy that we actually judge people by the depth of their color, of their skin. It makes no sense to me. I think it's the most ignorant thing. Yeah, it is. You know, I mean, I feel like it's always been that way. It's always been dumb to judge somebody because they don't have the same skin color as you. You know what I'm saying? Like, God made us all different but equal, right? But we're all different. You know what I'm saying? One may be a little darker than the other. One might be a little lighter than the other. You know, one may have a big nose, one may have a small nose. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all different. You know, just because you're lighter than me or I'm darker than you doesn't mean that I don't have to like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't like somebody because based off of how they're not respectful or how they carry themselves or you know what I'm saying? Anything besides their color. You know what I'm saying? Don't like a person because they like the Lakers, you like Boston. Celtics. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's my thought on that, man. That's my thought on that. But anyways, let's talk about this Carmelo Anthony case. Shout out to Minnesota. Ellen. The Ellen? Shout out to Minnesota. Top of the morning, top of the morning. We all are pink on the inside. Man, we all bleed the same color blood. That's my thing. We are if you believe in God like I do, we're all his children anyway, and we was all created from him. And so, likeness of him. So, with that being said, just imagine if God was racist. You know what I'm saying? Like, so again, so if you believe in God like I do, then you can't be a racist. You can't. It's impossible. If you believe in God and you love God and you feel like you're one of God's children, there's no way on his earth that you can be racist. Racist. Period. Because you'll look at the other person, no matter what color they are, as your brother or as your sister. Bottom line. That's how I look at that. I don't know how y'all look at that, but that's how I look at it though. The only reason that God gave us our skin color depends on upon the climate. Yeah. Just like we all have different kind of accents. If you're from the South, you have a different kind of accent than you would as somebody come from California. Like, you know, it's all different. What up, what up, what up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Shout out, shout out, shout out. It's crazy. It's really crazy. But anyway, what y'all think about this case, man? This Carmelo Anthony case. What y'all think about that? How do y'all feel like? Do y'all think that he had a fair trial for number one? And do y'all feel like the verdict that was given and handed down was appropriate? Let's see the comments on that. Comment down below and let me know what y'all think about that. What's going on, Angel? Miss Angel Charles, top of the morning, top of the morning. Miss Magda Mandy, shout out to you. I'm an 65, and I remember my best friend in fourth grade was Leah Jefferson, and I loved her to death. One day she told me she couldn't be my friend because my family had beat her terribly. It broke my heart. Dana says fair and the verdict is just. From all I've seen, it was fair and just. I think that we could keep emotion and the mainstream media out of it. The facts speak for themselves. What's going on, Angel? How you doing, man? How you doing? How you doing, sweetie? Hope everything's good. Hope everything's good. I think in the end, two families lost their kids, but one gets visitation. Okay. So I see a couple of you guys saying that y'all feel like it was a fair. So do y'all feel like the first degree murder was accurate? Or do y'all think it could have been a lighter sentence, like maybe second degree or manslaughter? Let me know about that. Comment on that. BTD says it hurts truthfully. Miss Maggie Man says no. No what, Miss Maggie? Where no to what? Murder is what happened. That's what Dana said. Dana says murder is what happened. I don't think he went there with the intentions of killing anybody. I feel the same way, Miss Magna. That's why I was asking you guys, do y'all think that first degree was accurate? That's sad for me. I really realized how racist black folks are. Very sad. Now they are going to this young man's grave and peeing on it. Also very sad. Wow, I didn't know that. The trial was not an abuse about race, and I don't think it was wrong in any way. He did what he did, and he will suffer the consequences. It wasn't race; it was actions. He won't be long. I guarantee it. Okay. I think it was the right verdict and sentence personally, but I hate it that he's such a young kid and made such a brutal, stupid mistake. Okay. Ram the Vanguard says with a better defense team, he definitely could have come out better in the sentencing and maybe would have played down. I think that act was in the heat of the moment and it's sad all around. I think we really need to have a chat with our teenagers about the post control. It wasn't an accident. Those pigs are AI. Well, the one ourselves. Okay, so I see y'all got little differences in there. Little differences, little differences, little differences. Um, Let me see. Miss Maga said, I don't think he went there with the intention of killing anybody. I feel the same way. I truly do. I don't think he went up there and woke up that morning and said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go up here and go, kill somebody today. I don't think that's true at all. Right? Miss Maggie said, I have a son his age and I know he made some dumb shit. I mean, like I said, listen, if you have any kind of kids at all, then you know kids are gonna be kids. Bottom line. I have kids myself. I have four stepchildren, two biological children. So I got six kids, right? And all of them has made in some way, shape, or form a dumb decision. That's what kids do. I was a kid, you was a kid at the time. We all made dumb decisions. Now, some are more than others, obviously, but we all still made dumb decisions. You know, premeditation can be a matter of second, though lawfully, even if he went with no intent, first degree can apply. He got to invent before he did it. Stuff happens when ex-boyfriend son got really passed out. There's nothing about the kid, nor the whole family's get attitude. There's nothing to feel sorry for other than the kid who lost his love. Campbell. He flat out murdered that kid, period. Is Cap. So it's Cap says that he flat out murdered that kid. Period. He said, "Touch me and see what happens. By law, that's premeditation. If he stabs somebody after saying that." See, I think premeditation is planning, plotting to go with. Where is it? I believe the same thing. I think just because he said hit me or shove me or push me, whatever, see what happens. Um, I don't think that's grounds of being intentional as far as what occurred after that, right? I just think it was like a normal response from another teenage kid to another teenage kid, threatening, "Hey, I'll beat you up, I'll punch you, or whatever the case may be." You know what I'm saying? And I think he'll just react to saying, "Well, hey, touch me and watch what happens," type of thing. I don't think that did nobody know at that time. I believe nobody knew that when he said that what his actions would be after that. I don't think that. I don't think that at all. But by law, that's what premeditation is. You're telling somebody that if you touch me, something is going to happen, and then you made something happen. That's why I be law premeditation can literally be a matter of seconds. So the hand in the backpack and the fact that the knife is already unfolded and locked in position is the indication that he had already made the decision to use it, therefore premeditation. So Crew Fest. Where did you get that information from? Because, like I said, I don't have all the information. I'm not saying that you're wrong about that. I'm not saying that you're right. I just want to know where did you get that information from? Because I wasn't a part of the juror. Um, Again, I don't know all facts about this case at all. I'm only basing my opinion off of what I have heard and maybe what I have seen on TV. Right? I lost my 16-year-old son in the fire. As a father, you want to protect your kids. I'm white, the loss, and the hurt on the end, afraid for the hate to stop. Afraid. Terry, I'm sorry that you lost your son. I'm really sorry to hear that. My condolences to you and your family. BDD says, I agree. He's not a murderer and he's not a psycho and is not a serial killer. He has impulse control issues, just like someone previously said. Big hello from Michelle, Mississippi. Premeditated period. Holmes, he brought a weapon, murder to be certain to go off easy. Okay, BT. Allegedly, he's a murderer and needs another. Well, between witnesses' statements, the prosecution and the defense, these are all objectively facts. If the knife had been left at home, no death, no juror, and no prison. Mission by one of this. I'll be honest, I don't remember who said what, but I remember what I read. Okay. You don't remember who said what, but you remember what you read. Okay, fair enough. So I took me some little notes about another case, right? That again I was brought to my attention. What you guys need to understand about me, like I don't get caught up in the media world. You know what I mean? Because we all know certain media outlets is going to want you to believe one thing, another one's going to want you to believe a different thing. The third one over here don't even give a damn about what you believe. You know what I mean? But I was trying to do some little research about this other case that I want to ask you guys about because I know a lot of you guys are saying that as far as Carmelo Anthony pleading self-defense, that you guys don't see it as self-defense. From my understanding, is what you guys are saying here. Um, that said one thing, or was from the witness testimony, for example. I just remember what it was said. But the thing is, murder one, I'm 99% sure requires a premeditated limit. I do too, because otherwise it could have gone manslaughter, voluntary, or voluntary manslaughter. Okay. He had a chance for a plea deal. That's fair, 10 years, and he didn't take it. At least he has a chance to get out in 17 years, I think. Last year, myself. Okay, so based off of what I seen and what I have heard, okay, now y'all bear with me now. Based off what I have seen, what I've heard, do I think he should have got a first degree murder verdict? No, I don't believe that. I 100% do not believe that he should have gotten a first degree. I don't. I truly don't. I don't. You know. Second degree manslaughter, yes, for sure. Because at the end of the day, someone still lost their life. That's a fact. Somebody still lost their life. So based off of that, there has to be a punishment laid down, right? Then they say that you're supposed to have a juror of your peers, right? There was no African American jurors in that trial, from my understanding. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. School ground carrying a weapon, crazy work done. Okay, so Miss Magna. So I heard that it wasn't on an actual school ground. I heard that it was like off at like a like a like a just a like a track meet type of facility type of thing. Like it wasn't actually on the school ground. Cause I heard that too. Cause I said the first thing I said was, y'all remember, first thing I said was, why are you bringing a knife to school anyway? Right? And somebody corrected me and said, well, he wasn't actually on the school ground. He was like, see how school had it's a school, but then maybe across the street somewhere off of school ground, they had like for example, down the street from my house, right? We have a high school. Across the street from that, there's a soccer field that holds these big old soccer events, but it has nothing to do with the school. It's not on school ground, but it's directly across the street from there, right? So they're saying that it was something like that to where you had the school that was there, but then across the way, off of school grounds, was where the track meet was being held at. So that's why some was saying that they didn't have no problem with him carrying a knife because it was on school grounds. But then some people say, well, it was on school grounds, and why would he want to carry a knife on school grounds? Now, if it was on school grounds, I agree with why are you carrying a knife on school grounds? Because we all know that's against the policy. Any weapon on school grounds is against the policy. So if it was on school grounds, I agree with that. He should have never had a knife, right? But it was not on school grounds. From my understanding, in the state of Texas, you are allowed to carry a pocket knife that's, I guess, so many inches as far as the blade or whatever the case may be. From my understanding, again, I don't live in Texas. I don't know their laws. I don't know their rules. I'm from California, and I know one time when I got caught with a knife, it was way beyond the inches that it's supposed to be, and I got in trouble for it myself. Was I at school? No, right? But I still got caught with it, and I got in trouble with it. Luckily, I was only 15, 14 years old, so I wasn't really tripping like that. But that was a long time ago anyway. So laws has changed since then. So that's what I'm saying. So that's why I say I haven't got the full scoop on exactly what's going down. You see what I'm saying? This isn't a weapons charge. This is a murder charge. That's facts. I agree. I agree. Four of the jurors were Asians or Hispanic, no black jurors because you had to say on the form you were willing to convict a black man if guilty. Now, there were no African Americans on the jury, but there were Asians, Indians, and Hispanics on the jury of four. Okay, but don't they say that you're supposed to have a jury to your liking, or you know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, first of all, let's just say this: all this could have been avoided, right? All this could have been avoided. He didn't have to go underneath the tent. It's not his tent. He didn't have to go underneath the tent at the same time. Even if he did go underneath the tent, then nobody really had to push the issue about him being underneath the tent. What's the big deal about me being underneath the tent and it's raining outside? Right. So I feel like on both ends, it was unnecessary. You know, cause I mean, unless like, and like I say, man, we can go back to the teenage thing, and it's a competitive sport. You know what I'm saying? And you got one team over here underneath this 10, other teams over here underneath they 10. So it could have been like on a competitive team type of thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, this is our team over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? What you doing over here? You know what I mean? Type of thing. Like nothing like serious like that though. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you play sports, then you guys know what I'm talking about. Like you talk mess to the other to the ops. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you talking mess to the ops. You don't mean no harm by it. You're not trying to hurt nobody, but you kind of get in their head. You know what I'm saying? Like because it's like I said, it's a competitive type of thing, right? But at the end of the day, just because he was underneath the tent, my opinion, I don't think it should have went that far as from what witnesses says that he pushes him, whether it was one push, one arm push, a two-hand football push, whatever it was. That's what they say. That's what witnesses say. So um, can you say that he provoked it? I don't know. That'd be your opinion. I mean, that's your opinion on that. I don't know, but could it have been avoided? 100%. 100%. I agree. Trevor, I agree. It should have been second degree, or like I said, manslaughter, perhaps. Silly argument, not your tent. They can tell you to go. Yes, they can tell you to go. You are 100% right. You absolutely they can. It's their tent. If you're underneath my tent, I can tell you to get out my tent. 100%. I agree with that. Now, did he have to push him? It's a question. Or could he have went to go get a teacher, a security guard, an adult, or whatever the case may be, and say, hey, we got this guy underneath our tent. We don't want him here. Could he have done that? Lots of messed up stuff happened. I will tell you this: if you put your hands on my child, I'm coming down to the track myself. I agree with that too, Miss Maggie. If you touch my kid, you will see my face there too. Bottom line. So listen, I have a son, 12 years old, right? He called me one day and said, Dad, I don't want to go to school today. I said, well, why? What's going on, son? Why don't you want to go to school today? I'm thinking, you know, he's tired, or, you know what I mean? He just want to play hooky for that day. Come to find out, he was getting bullied at school by other kids. Okay. Now, when I was a kid, I want to say maybe about 9, 10 years old. I know I was in elementary school. I remember that for sure. I was in elementary school, right? I was once bullied as well by this one particular guy. So when my son told me that, it kind of took me back to my childhood, right? When I was getting bullied. Okay. So that's why I don't like bullies at all. Like at all. Right. And his mom know how I am about my kids. Like I'll go through the fire for my kids. So once I heard that somebody was bullying my son, boom, my antennas are up. Where they at? Where the parents at? That's what I want to talk to. But now they have it to where I don't know how it is out there where you guys stay at. But I know out here in California where I'm at, you can't even talk to the parents now. Like the principal literally called me, my son's mother, inside the principal's office and was talking to the principal. And my first thing was, well, where the parents at? Where the kids' parents at? Why we can't talk to them? You know, I guess in past situations, fights occurred as far as with parents and things like that, to where now they don't have the same parents in the same room at the time of the conversation. They can't even tell you the kid's name or anything like that. Your kid knows, but as far as the principals and all the administration and all that kind of stuff, they can't tell you the name. So anyway, I say that to say my son was that fearful to go back to school. right? Because he was getting bullied. He was that fearful. He didn't want to go back to school. Um, but I made sure that the principal assured me that he was going to take action of what was going on and that my son would not be getting bullied at nobody's school, okay? Or I will be sitting outside in the parking lot waiting for the kids' parents so I can have a talk with them and try to get an understanding of why your kid feel like he can come to school bullying other people's kids. What are you teaching your kid at home? Okay, that's where my mind frame was at, right? I don't condone no violence. You know, I'm past that. I'm a grown man now, I'm a grown ass man, so I don't condone violence, right? I feel like everything should be able to be talked out and discussed and things like that, especially if you're two adults. You know, when we all have kids, we all been kids before, and we know how kids can be. Some kids can be a little mean, more meaner than other kids. You know, some kids can, you know, and again, you have some kids that will commit suicide because of their getting bullied. You know what I'm saying? So bullying is really a big, big deal. But anyway, I'm getting off subject. Um, could be wrong, but Carmelo may have been justified in like punching Austin. But again, could Metcalf had went to go get somebody to tell Carmelo to get out the tent? Comment that. Let me what y'all gotta say about that? Do y'all feel like he could have went to go get a principal, a teacher, a coach, anybody to have them remove Carmelo from the tent? USM Casper, what you mean by he should never have been there? Been where? Inside the tent or at the actual track meet? I'm not understanding what you're saying about that. The coach left Austin in charge. Okay, the coach left Austin in charge. Okay, he's still a child, but okay. In Texas law, self defense, the response has to match the threat. Okay, I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. Miss Maggie says they both could have done that. That's my point. That's my point. Carmella didn't have to go underneath the tent. Metcalf didn't have to provoke the whole situation as far as pushing him, right? Carmelo could have stayed where he was at to where it would never put Metcalf in a position to have to say anything. But since Carmelo did come to the tent, Metcalf could have went to go get a supervisor, an adult, anybody to come get him and escort him away from the tent. So that's why I said on both sides, things could have went a lot different. Is what I'm saying. If you don't agree with that, then it's a problem with you. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Carmelo was wrong by going in somebody else's tent. Yes, but it was raining outside. I don't know how many tents was out there. I don't know what the setup was. I don't know about none of that. Because from my understanding, Carmelo knew somebody that was underneath that tent. So he went over there and was having a conversation with that person, from my understanding. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But that's what I have heard. That's the reason why he went underneath the tent to begin with. Not only just because it was raining, because he knew somebody over there. Now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong about that. Okay, what am I wrong? What am I wrong about, Casper? What part? Explain to me. Let's have a conversation. Explain to me what I'm wrong about. Let me know. Carmelo was in the wrong tent and asked to leave 15 times. The problem is when people bring weapons, knives, and guns, etc. I agree. Mandy, you lying? Who's Mandy? What Mandy say? I don't see no Mandy unless I'm tripping. But anyway, let me see. Austin told, according to witnesses, I don't want to fight you. Austin could have got a coach to remove him, and Carmelo could have left. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, so I feel like on both ends of that, it could have been all avoided. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just could have been avoided. And that's just the bottom line. What is there to argue? Carmelo was never supposed to be there, period. When you say not supposed to be there, Casper, are you saying at the in the tent or at the track meet? Be more specific when you say that. Okay, so the coach was nowhere near the track meet, so he left to go to a store or something like that, go grocery shopping. Like, where was the coach at? Was there only one coach for the whole entire event, or was there multiple adults out there? Because from my understanding, Carmelo, after he did what he did, he ran to another coach. From my understanding, what you mean? What am I making up now, Casper? What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? Because now you sounding dumb. To be honest with you, what are you talking about? We all know that he admitted to that. We know that. Like we know that. Like, what are you talking about? I never heard that he was suspended. I heard that they said that at first, but then they said that that was a lie, that he was not suspended from the school. So, and again, I'm not 100% sure on that, so I can't confirm that. So, Carmelo Anthony's parents failed him. How did his parents fail him? What are y'all talking about right now? Okay, so Lala says Austin wasn't supposed to be there. He was suspended. I didn't know that. They also said there were bullies and sent pictures of people pissing on the grave. Doesn't change the facts. Okay, so Manga said he was not suspended. No, Austin wasn't suspended. They clearly failed him. He was suspended for being a knife. Agreed. This was Carmelo's second knife offense. Not teaching him impulse control. Austin was supposed to be there. He was assigned by the coach. They didn't say for that. Sentencing. Please, Lord, Q. Austin set up the tent in the morning. That's not true. That is a rumor. You're making that shit up. Austin was signed by the coach to the tent. Okay, so listen. Manny, you making it up. Lala says, Manny, shut the fuck up. You making it up. You're a fucking troll. Okay, so listen. Here's my thing, right? Some of y'all saying Metcalf was suspended. He shouldn't have been there. Some of y'all saying Carmelo was suspended. He wasn't supposed to be there. You know, whatever the case may be, right? To me, that's here nor there. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, whether whoever was supposed to be there or not, it could have all been avoided. Bottom line, no matter who's supposed to not be there, who's supposed to be there, whatever. Bottom line, it could have been avoided. That's what I'm saying. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. Again, was none of us there. So if let's say if one of you guys are at an event, right? And in your section that you're in, it's all of your friends, maybe but one, right? But everybody else in that little section of yours is your friends, right? Boom, a fighting curve. You beat somebody up, whatever, whatever. So they're asking witnesses, which is all your friends, what happened. Now remember, we're talking about teenagers here. Teenagers, right? We all know kids tell stories, man. Like, let's just keep it a buck, though. Let's just keep it a buck. My kids included tell stories. It's been times I had to go to my kids' school, you know, for some for some you know little situations or whatnot. Come to find out, I was believing what my kid was saying because it's my kid, right? But we all know when our kids be lying, though. So let's stop acting like kids don't lie. Let's stop acting like kids don't exaggerate because they do. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nobody kids perfect that I have came across. So with that being said, who's to say that these friends of Metcalf's was actually telling the 100% full truth? Or let's just say, who's to say that Carmelo Anthony's friends was telling the 100% truth? We don't know because was nobody there but them. I wasn't there, you wasn't there, you wasn't there, was nobody there but them. So in actuality, we don't really know exactly what happened, what really occurred, what really led up to that. To be honest with you, we can all speculate and go off of what he said and she said and what he seen and what she seen and et cetera, but we don't really know. That's a fact. But another fact is that Carmelo didn't have to go and eat that tent. And even if he did go and eat that tent, Metcalf didn't have to say, hey, well, this, that, and the third, whatever, whatever, pushes him. Because if he said that he don't want to fight him, why he push him? Why you push him? If somebody said in this comment that he said that he didn't want to fight, why did you push him then? Why did you push him? No, I'm not saying that, Casper. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all be looking too much into things. So, Casper, did you not hear that Carmelo had one person in that tent that he had allegedly knew? That's why he went over there to talk to that person. That's what I heard. We're not talking about if your daughter has ever been arrested for no stabbing. We're not talking. Listen, once again, wrong is wrong, right is right. Okay, was Carmelo wrong for stabbing that kid? Yes, he was. Is that what y'all want to hear? That's what y'all want to hear me say? Yes, he was. He was wrong. 100%. Because based off what I have heard and seen, that I don't see a threat in that type of form. Because it was a controlled environment. You have adults. I'm assuming that you have adults there, maybe security guard is there. You know, you have all these things that's going on there, right? So did Carmelo make a stupid impulse decision? 100%. 100%. But don't sit up here and make it seem like kids won't lie. I don't care for what the crime is for. We watch TV all day long. We see people in interrogation rooms all day long, first 48, the whole 9 yards, lying with friends. So stop making it seem like, oh, because it's their friend, they're telling the 100% truth. No, no, because that's no. We don't know rather though, because we wasn't there. You feel me? We was not there. So we don't know. But we do know kids lie. That's what we do know. We know that for a fact. If you want to sit up here and say act like your kid don't lie, then use a damn fool. Use a damn fool. Because everybody tells a lie, whether you old, middle aged, a kid, whatever. You have lied in your lifetime. Bottom line, period, point blank. And some of us have lied to get out of some shit. Whether it's some serious shit or whether it's some little bullshit. We all have lied to get out some shit. Whether you gonna lie to a teacher, whether you gonna lie to a police officer, whether you gonna lie to a judge, your mama, your daddy, your auntie, your grandma, whoever the hell you gonna lie to, you have lied before in your lifetime. Bottom line. Bottom line. But like I said at the same time, this could have all been prevented, period. Metcalf did not have to lose his life. Karmelo did not have to come over there with a knife to go inside of a tent. He didn't have to stab the kid. We all know that. But let's stop acting like, let's stop like, because now it seems like we're picking sides. That's what it sounds like. Because at the end of the day, we got two young boys who has basically changed everything. You know what I'm saying? One lost their life, unfortunately. Parents had to grieve and had to deal with that. And don't no parent want to go through that. I feel sorry for Metcalf's parents had to go through that. I feel sorry that he lost his life for a a a a 10, 20 minute, however long argument, disagreement, whatever you want to call it. It should have not led to that. For damn sure. It should not have led to that. Stop acting like, man, like people don't lie or something like that, man. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Do not do that. Like it's always about white and black with people, man. Like just it's like if it was two white kids on there or two black kids, what would this conversation be like then? What would the conversation be like? I can guarantee you it wouldn't be like what it is right now. But because it was a black kid and a white kid, that's the reason why the conversations are happening the way they are happening. Because it was a black kid and a white kid. That's the only reason why. Because if it was two of the same race, this conversation wouldn't be going on. It probably wouldn't even be all over the news like that, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be 100 with you. It probably wouldn't be all over the news, but it is because there's a white kid and a black kid involved. And it's in the state of Texas. That's why, and the media is painting it as a racist uh type of situation. And people are grabbing on to it and running with it. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Right? So now let me ask y'all this question then. If they were both black, you wouldn't care. Right. Child ran and killed him. So you know what? Lala, that's exactly what I'm about to start talking about. Child. And I got the notes right here. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So let's just switch gears for a second. This incident happened in South Carolina in 2023, and the kid was 14 years old. Right? Since y'all saying that this incident with Karmelo Anthony and Metcalf, that Karmelo could not prove self-defense, right? I want y'all to answer this question for me then. Because I know y'all heard about this trial, right? Chow, the convenience store owner, when a 14-year-old went into his store and allegedly stole a water bottle, whatever the hell it was, a Snicker bar, Reese's, a payday, whatever, right? Allegedly stole something. They confronted him. It's on video camera. From what I've seen, he didn't have nothing on him. Okay? The little kid, the 14-year-old kid, black kid at that, he runs out the store. They chase him out the store, chasing him down 130 yards is how far they chase this guy. So you talk about more than a football field. Chow shot this 14-year-old kid in the back. In the back. But he claimed self-defense. Right? So how is it self-defense when you shot somebody in the back? How's he a threat to you and you shot somebody in the back? Answer that question for me, y'all. And he got found not guilty because he said it was self-defense. Now, I'm gonna try to answer that for me. Let me hear y'all answers on that. Okay, boxer, I understand what you're saying. So explain to me how I'm wrong. Now, Steph says he has a gun. No, he did not. No, he did not. They didn't find no gun on him when they got there. No, they did not. Because I thought the same thing. Because the child actually said that he turned around and thought that he waved the gun at him. He said he thought that he did. Never found the gun. Never found the gun. Now, okay, Casper, show me proof. Matter of fact, I'm about to look it up right now. So you said that they found the gun, right, Casper? Let's see. I'm about to search that. I'm about to search that. Let's see here. And if I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, I will definitely hold myself accountable. Because what I do is hold myself accountable for when I'm wrong. I don't know about how y'all get down, but that's what I do. I hold myself accountable. So let me see here. Uh okay. Here we go right here. So this is for Casper, right? So it says, yes, a 9mm handgun was found on the ground near Cyrus Belton. During the murder trial of the former store owner Rick Chow, it was undisputed that the 14-year-old was carrying a loaded firearm. However, the details of its use were heavily debated in court. Now it says that the defense says that Chow's defense argued that Carmack Belton pulled the gun and pointed at Chow's son while fleeing, leading the father to shoot in self-defense. The prosecution maintained that although the teen possessed a weapon, he never threatened anyone with it and that it fell to the ground during the chase. Okay, so I was wrong about that. So my apologies, Casper. I was wrong about that. I didn't see that. I didn't read that. Now it's right here in black and white, and that's exactly what it says. So you are absolutely right about that. So you're right. So my bad. My apologies. I was wrong about that. Now, so now it basically comes down to uh basically Child's word, right? Because Cyrus is dead, he's gone, so he can't say what happened. But now Child can say, hey, he turned around and pointed the gun at me and whatnot, and we wouldn't know about that, right? We wasn't there. We wasn't there, right? So I don't know if he turned around and pointed the gun or not, but we do know now, based off what I just read, that he did have a gun. A weapon was found on the ground, a 9mm. So we do know that. That's my bad. I didn't read that. Thank you for that information. I don't blame the parents for that because I don't know. First of all, I don't know his parents. For number one, I never met them a day in my life, never even seen them. For number two, you can be the best parent that you could be to your kids. But once they walk out that house, you don't know what they're doing. Let's just keep it real. Cause my mom was a great mom, excellent mom, very disciplined, military mom, the whole 9 yards. But when I walked out that house, what I did on my own time had nothing to do with her. Had nothing to do with her raising me. None of that. None of that. So I don't always blame the parent. Now, if you're the type of parents to where you're condoning stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, and all that kind of stuff, then that's different. Yes, now you want to blame the parents for that, for sure, 100%. But I don't know his parents. I never met him. I never seen him. I don't know how they raised him. I don't know if they raised him right. Matter of fact, I got a homeboy who was raised in church the whole time. They couldn't even come out the gate. Couldn't even come out the gate. You follow what I'm saying? Mom was strict as I don't know what. But you know what? He don't went to prison. He don't got shot at. A whole lot of things. But it wasn't her fault. It was the environment that he grew up in. But it wasn't her fault. You know what I'm saying? You can't blame parents all the time. Now, there are certain circumstances that you can blame a parent for their kids' actions. There are certain circumstances. I have seen some people who's their parents, but they still act like they gang members, and you know what I'm saying, they want their kids. You know what I mean? So yes, you can blame those kind of parents for sure. 100%. I agree with that for sure. But for you not to even know his parents, or to know even how they was raised or anything like that, it's like you placing judgment on people now. In my personal opinion, you placing judgment. Yes, you're right, Casper. Your parents teach you how to make those judgments. You're right. But like I say, once you walk out the house and you're in that environment out there and you a young kid, what you do from that point on is on you. That has nothing to do with your parents. Has nothing to do with your parents. It's a lot of good parents out here in this world who does their damn good best to try to raise their kids right. But that doesn't mean when they walk out that house that they're gonna listen and do everything that you say. Because if that was the case, why do we have so many people that's in jail, that's locked away, that's that do bad things? Does that mean that their parents were bad people? Have you ever did anything bad yourself? Does that mean your parents is bad? Are we blaming your parents for whatever mistakes that you made? I mean, come on, bro. Like, come on, man. So just because you ain't stabbed or shot anyone, to mean don't blame your parents? Huh? Have you ever stolen anything? Have you ever lied? Have you ever threw a rock at somebody, threw a toy at somebody? Are you just perfect, right? You perfect. You ain't did nothing, right? You ain't did nothing. You did everything that your parents instilled in you and told you to do. Is what you're telling me, right? You want to lead back to the shot and stab thing. We're past that. We're talking about period. Period. Okay, Casper, you just perfect, bro. You just perfect. I forgot you perfect. That's what you are. You were perfect. You don't do nothing wrong. You know, you a perfect. You a perfect human being in this world. You know what I'm saying? You have a perfect life. You ain't did nothing wrong at all. You just a perfect person, perfect citizen. Congratulations, bro. Cause I ain't never met nobody in my life that was perfect, but now I have, and it's you. It's Casper. Everybody meet Casper. Casper's a perfect guy. Everybody's you perfect. I'm way past perfect, bro. Way past perfect. I ain't nowhere near perfect. I've been in a whole lot of trouble in my lifetime. Whole lot of trouble. It had nothing to do with my mom. It had nothing to do with my dad. It had all to do with me. I made those decisions on my own. My mom didn't help me with that. but she damn sure raised a strong household, a tough household, a very disciplined household. And sometimes parents can be too tough on their kids, too disciplined on their kids, to where it forces them to go out and go do some dumb shit. You follow what I'm saying? So, Casper, you might well just just leave, bro. Just leave, cause you're not even making no sense. Just go about your business, bro. Just go about your business, cause you trolling now. Now you trolling. You straight trolling. You trolling. You can go about your business, bro. I ain't even got time to even answer your question or look at even your comments no more. You trolling. But anyway, let me see. Parents can make a difference if they hold their kids accountable and not believe their bullshit. I believe that too. It's crazy how everybody is so quick to judge somebody else's kids, right? But I can guarantee you, if that was anybody's kids, like your kids, it would be different. But again, like I said, wrong is wrong, right is right. Still at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Still at the end of the day, wrong is wrong, right is right. So let me reiterate. Do I think Carmelo Anthony was wrong for what he did? 100%. 100%. Do I blame his parents for that? No. I blame him for that. Because he's smart enough to know what he did. Bottom line, he should never even had the knife to begin with. But like I say, Metcalf or Carmelo Anthony both could have did separate or both could have handled things in a different way to where it could have prevented the whole thing from going down in the first place. Bottom line. Yeah. Like I say, listen, the truth hurts, man. The truth hurts. Straight up. Straight up. And if that was my son, if Carmelo was my son, I feel the same way. You was wrong, son, and there's consequences for your actions. Is what I would have told my son. It's consequences for actions. And this is your consequence for your actions. You know what I'm saying? You should never bring that to why are you bringing a knife to school for to begin with? And plus, I always taught my kids to fight. Don't never bring a weapon, ever. Because you don't need one. You got these. You know what I'm saying? That's what these are for. It don't need for no weapons. What you got weapons for? You know what I'm saying? So whether it was my kid or not, I'm still gonna feel the same way. Because wrong is wrong, right is right. Period. Period. You know what I'm saying? Period. I have lost some friends to the streets. You know what I'm saying? And if they would have been doing different, it would have been a different outcome. You know what I'm saying? It would have been a different outcome. But they chose to do what they were doing. So there's consequences in your actions, no matter who you are, no matter what color you are. There's consequences. Bottom line, there's consequences. You know what I'm saying? And to blame somebody's parents for something that you never even met, you don't know how they was raising their kids, is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. So if your kid have ever done anything bad, are you to blame as a parent when you was doing everything right? No, you're not to blame. You was doing everything right. You was teaching them right from wrong. You were teaching them about respect. You know what I mean, about dignity, about uh holding yourself accountable for things. I mean, you teach them everything you need to teach them. But like I said, once they walk out that door, it's out of your control. My mom didn't know I was smoking cigarettes. I used to tell my mom I want pink lungs, not black lungs. But when I walked outside and went out to go be with my friends and all that, guess what I was doing? Smoking me a cigarette. But she taught me not to. She told me not to. It's bad for you. It's this and that. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm outside. I'm with the homies. I'm smoking me a cigarette. Do I blame her for that? How can I blame her for that? You know what I'm saying? Like anything that you do wrong, like I said, unless your parents are showing you that kind of lifestyle, condoning that kind of lifestyle, not showing you that you should not be doing X, Y, and Z, then yes, you can blame the parents for that. And now it's the parents' fault. Like I said, it's when you're kids, you're taught. It's like racism. You're taught racism. You're not born being racist. You're taught that. But now if you grow up and you was taught not to be racist, to love all people, but then you grow up and you start going hang around certain type of crowds or certain type of people, whatever the case may be, they feed your brain and manipulating you and telling you, oh yeah, don't like this person because of this color, this, and that. And then that's how you end up being. How you blame the parents for that? Or if you grow up and go kill somebody, but your parents have raised you again the right way. How do you blame your parents for that? You can't, bro. You can't. I think everyone is pissed at the Anthony parents for their own actions during this whole thing. They hired a felon as spoken person, acting like their son did nothing wrong, and the system is facts. The fact that parents screamed reverse racism shows exactly why they played a role. I called my son smoking a couple weeks ago. Guess what? He's doing this Halloween, passing out flyers at the American Heart Institute. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. That is definitely what's up. God is forever. You says you can tell by the way the parents talk in their interviews. You know what's crazy? I'm gonna go watch some of the interviews. 'Cause I haven't watched none of the interviews before. I mean, to be honest with you, and like I said, I don't get caught up in the media stuff. You know, I just don't. You know, I just don't. You know, but I'm gonna take a look at some of the interviews that the parents did, and I'm gonna go from there. Exactly, Boxer Rick. I feel you. Me the same. Me the same. They insinuated the hell out of it, but they didn't say it. I don't think the parents ever said that. Having kids is hard. Yes, having kids is hard. Yes, having kids is very hard. And again, the media wants us to do this right here, to be divided. That's what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they want. That's why they always bring in race into play. Always. You know, and it's a shame. It really is. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. They said that every witness lied and that all white jury was a sign at the system was rigged against their son. See, that's why I say, man, it's like that's why you gotta leave racism out of it, man. Like you really do. You really do. Because if it was a black boy and a black boy, what would the conversation be about then? Another black on black crime? What would the conversation be? I mean, you know, if it was a white kid and a white kid, what would the conversation be? Like real talk. Like what would it be? You know, it's crazy. So they say Hispanic, Muslim, Asian, and white was a jury. Okay, okay. They say you're supposed to have a jury of your peers. That's what they say. Exactly. I agree. It's a sad thing about what happened. It really is. You know, the George Floyd thing, when they were doing that little Black Lives Matter thing, I didn't get involved in that, to be honest with you. I didn't even entertain that at all. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause like I said, once again, um, I don't just react and move off of, what the media is putting out there. Me myself, I like to do my own homework and find out what really take place. What's really going on? Like, how did this really happen? What was the backstory to that? What led up to this? You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, they just go off what they hear. You know what I'm saying? What they see. They don't do their own due diligence at all. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when Obama ran for president. A lot of people voted for Obama because he was black. They didn't know nothing about him. They just did because he was black. You know what I'm saying? But then some of those same people who voted for him wish they never did. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, get your own information instead of going off of everybody else's. Get your own information, is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Does Black Lives Matter care about the 7 black kids that got killed in Chicago over the weekend? Listen, I don't think Black Lives Matter about none of that, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't think so. We all remember what happened with that Black Lives Matter thing. We know about that. The black jurors disqualified themselves because they said they couldn't convict a brother even if he was guilty. See, I didn't even know that. Boxer? You see what I'm saying? Like, bro, this whole country is brainwashed, to be honest with you. The whole country is brainwashed. Because it always comes down to race, bro. Every time. Every time, bro. Every time. Layla said that's true, Have. I appreciate that. Boss Riff, you are 1,000% right, but they don't want to bring that up. See, ain't nobody talking about that. And the other blacks were educators. And the other blacks were educators. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's so much that we probably don't even know. And like I said, was none of us on the jury. So don't none of us have all evidence at all. We're only going by what the media's putting out there and what we're hearing what Carmelo's parents are saying. That's all we can go off of. It's what the media is putting out there because was nobody there. You know what I'm saying? It was nobody there. You feel me? Yes, I'm biracial too, and it's tough. Yeah. Human race, absolutely right. He was doing more for the LGBTQ than he was for Black Americans. My son is mixed, and I was tired of having talks with him about how to carry himself as a man. Right. I mean, like I say, bro, people voted for Obama just because he was black. They didn't have no information about this man whatsoever. My dumb ass included. My dumb ass was one of them people. Just voted for him because he was black. That's how dumb I was. Oh, we got a black president, and I'm gonna vote anyway. Now and then. I don't even know nothing about him. He's black. That was the dumbest thing, bro, I could have ever done. Straight up. Straight up. Now, did he have a mouthpiece? 100%. 100%. He can go sell sand to a beach for sure. For sure. But condoning the LGBTQ, allowing, same sex marriage to go through, and you supposed to be a Christian? You supposed to be a Christian. So how you okay with that? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? So like I say, once everything started coming out, you start realizing. You start realizing. Straight up. Straight up. So, you know, um, that's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. It's like all I can say, man, is just do your due diligence before you start placing judgment on anybody. Cause you don't want nobody placing judgment on you. You know what I'm saying? The same people who talking crap and placing judgment on other people, you don't want people placing judgment on you. So just do your due diligence. See what's going on, get the facts, get the most facts as you can, and then base your opinion off of that. You know what I'm saying? Because based off the facts that I have gotten and things I have looked up, once again, he was wrong for bringing a knife. Period. You know what I'm saying? And if there was no deadly force being placed upon you, why are you using deadly force in return? Right? So the way I look at it is he was a 17-year-old kid, you know, acting tough like all 17-year-olds do in high school. Metcalf was acting tough too. You know, it was a teenage thing. Like, that's all it should have been. Some little words back and forth. Oh, forget you. Get out my tent. Oh, up you. You know what I'm saying? Woo, woo. And if a fight were to occur, okay, whatever. Let's fight it out like men and go our separate ways. That's what it should have been. That's all it should have been. You know. But then it didn't go that way. It didn't go that way. Thank you, Lala. I appreciate that. Thank you, Lala. You're a top fan. I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. Miss Maggie says, I want to start writing Carmelo and make it a regular weekly thing because I bet people will start writing him and it will all fall off. Miss Maggie says, because he needs a regular Christian influence in his life. There also, as in establishment, hello. The fact that it's a debate or discussion is pathetic. Sin flow stage for 200. What you mean by that, Six? You talking about the fact that it's a debate or a discussion is pathetic. What do you mean by that? It's not supposed to be a debate. I mean, a conversation about it. Is that what you're saying? Why it should not be nothing to talk about, Six? Why? Why? I feel like there's a lot to talk about because this could bring awareness to other kids to let other kids know, hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I agree with that, Miss Manning. I mean, because at the end of the day, bro, at the end of the day, he was a kid, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was a kid, you know. He made a dumb, dumb decision that cost him at least 17, 18 years. He got sentenced to 35, but I think they said you gotta do at least 17, 18 years. So that dumb decision, that split second decision, cost him 35 years. Bottom line, you know. I don't agree with the first degree murder thing. I don't. I really don't. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Manslaughter, okay, cool. You know, maybe even second degree. You know, but first degree, I don't believe that. I just don't. I don't think it was intentional. Um, I don't. Sorry that I feel that way, but I just don't. I don't. Look at Cole. Cole said he won't be reformed. What makes you think that he won't be reformed? See, that's what I be that's what I be talking about, man. Like, what makes you feel like he won't be reformed, bro? Like, so just because he grabbed a knife and went there means that it was premeditated? Six? So he woke up and said, let me get my knife. I'm about to go over here and kill me somebody today. Is that what you're saying? That's premeditated. Like the person who unalived Charlie Kirk, that's premeditated. He planned that. That's what you call premeditated. The person who unalived Charlie Kirk, that's premeditated, champ. So where do you feel like that it was premeditated at? Explain that to me, please. No, it kind of sounds like you're stupid, Six. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like you're stupid, to be honest with you. That's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me. You know. Now, once things was being said, and he said, you know, touch me or push me and see what happens. Now he's planning on doing something. But the initial from home to the school with the knife and all that, now it led up to him saying what he said, for sure. You know, like I said, maybe if he would never said that, maybe it would have been looked at in that kind of way. You know what I'm saying? But since he said that, I guess people are saying that it was premeditated, which is a good argument. That's a good argument. He left and went to grab a knife. So he didn't have the knife with him already up there, six, is what you're saying? So you're saying that he left the track meet, went to go grab a knife, came back, is what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Now, Joel, if they, I didn't know that. So they offered him a plea deal of 10 and they didn't take and he didn't take that. So they must have felt like they had a really strong case as far as self-defense did. They must have felt really, really good about that self-defense claim. Because if you turned down 10 and got 35, then you had to be in your mind, you had to be like, I know I'm not guilty. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to think that for you to turn it down. And for your lawyers to even advise that for you to turn it down is crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I never heard of a plea deal too, neither, Lala. Never heard about that. And if there was one and they turned that down, that was stupid. That was stupid. So Sonny says lawyer definitely advised him to take the plea deal. Okay, so I didn't know that. So Lala says, or Layla, his parents seem a little weird if you ask me. I need to go check out the parents, man, because I seen a couple of people on here say something about his parents. I want to go take a look at some of the interviews that his parents did. That's what I want to do. Because I took a plea for something I didn't even do because the prosecutor said he'd make me sit in jail 3 years waiting on the trial. The Anthony family just wanted the money, so they threw their son so under the bus. So they was in it for the money, is what y'all saying? That's why I don't like their parents and they didn't even go to the citizen. I feel so sorry for Carmelo though. They left him alone. So wait a minute. The parents wasn't even there for the sentencing? Are you serious? Lala says, seems like his dad has no heart, no fight. Like, come on now. Yes, they did. They left him alone. Wow. Wow. Hey, Six, that's how I know how dumb you are, bro. Because when I first got on here on this live, that's the first thing I said. That I haven't even really did a research. I'm going off of what I have seen on the media and what people are saying. I said that from the get-go. So maybe you need to go back and watch that. So some people saying that they weren't there, and now Sonny's saying that they left after the guilty verdict. Now Mo said they was on a book tour. They were promoting a Netflix documentary. What? They got $3.9 million for the Netflix thing documentary. Wow, 3.9 million for the so with I guess they're trying to well, I don't know. Like I say, I have no idea. I'm assuming this. I'm assuming this. So I'm assuming that they're trying to raise that money to help him with his lawyers in his appeal. I'm guessing. I'm assuming that. I don't know. Have on send you a live that was done last night. Oh yeah, go yeah, send me that. I would definitely want to see that. That's for sure. Where can I find that about the Netflix? Yeah, I want to know where I can find that out about the Netflix also. We do have some trolls here for sure. That's for sure. But you know, trolls are welcome too. Trolls are welcome too. Charleston White is a clown. Charleston White, man. That hey man, listen, yeah. You know, some people, like I say, some people just do stuff, bro, just to get famous, just to get their views. You know. And who's seen Stephen A. Smith in a video about this Carmelo Anthony thing? If y'all haven't seen him, go check his out. It was pretty interesting to be honest with you. Exactly. Charleston White is a content creator. So, you know, there's a lot of things that YouTubers who said that? Oh, six, like YouTubers. You funny, bro. You was real funny, bro. You was real, real funny. He's another one. Who's another one, Lala? You talking about Stephen A. Smith? Carmelo is in for a very bad time in prison. Everyone is going to think he has money, but he do not. Don't take it personal unless you should. I would never take nothing personal, Six. I don't do that. To me, all this is conversation. You know, some of y'all take it very personal. Very, very personal. I be seeing the comments. You know what I'm saying? Me, I don't take things personal, bro. First of all, I know what I do for a living. I'm a content creator. I'm a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's gonna be trolls. I know it's gonna be people bashing me. And bro, I've been called coons. I've been called damn near every name in the book. You know what I mean by trolls. But again, if you know me, then you know me. Just as simple. A lot of y'all don't even know me personally. Y'all can only go off of what y'all see. But for anybody that's been following me for the last 6 years on here, y'all know exactly how I am, bro. Y'all know that It's not a racist bone in my body. Y'all know that for a fact. The ones who've been following me though. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing but love for me. Straight up. So the troll to be on here trying to troll and say this and that about me, that don't bother me at all. I don't lose no sleep at all. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know who I am, and the people who know me know who I am. And that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? Trolls and all that type of shit. I ain't worried about none of that. I ain't worried about none of that. Boxer Rick says, "We know your brother. You're good people." I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, brother. I really do. You don't know anything. You don't know any of us, and I wasn't talking race. I was talking YouTubers. Yeah, but you made it seem like all YouTubers says or I guess acts like a Charleston White just to get views. Now there are YouTubers out there who do that for sure. I know some of them personally, but that doesn't mean all YouTubers do that. There's a lot of YouTubers out there that be speaking facts and actually be digging into some shit. You know what I'm saying? But then you got some who just does it for the views. You know, because at the end of the day, it's a business, right? It's a business. At the end of the day. Sonny says, "I don't know nothing about you, but you seem like a good person." I appreciate that, Sonny. No one thought you were talking about Ray 6. Exactly. You, Polo, and Leo are my favorite reactors. Yeah, Leo, that's my boy, man. That's my boy. Y'all, like I said, if y'all been following me for this long, y'all already know. That's my boy. You know? No, there are tons of clickbait on tons of shit, and yes, a lot are factual too. Yeah, there's a lot of clickbait. It's a lot of clickbait, you know? But, it's up to you whether you decipher what's real and what's fake. I know for me, I can only speak for me. I can't speak for nobody else. I know for me, I'm always gonna keep it a band, whether people like it or not. Because at the end of the day, I don't have no agenda about nothing. Like I'm not getting nothing out of it. You know what I'm saying? But what I am gonna tell y'all is the truth and how I feel about something. And just because I feel some type of way about something doesn't mean that you guys may agree with it. You may disagree, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. You're not supposed to agree with every single thing that I may say or how I feel. So I'm not gonna agree with everything that you guys may say or you may feel. I voted for Trump, but I don't agree with everything that he says or does. You follow what I'm saying? It's just what it is. You know, I'm sure some people feel the same way who voted for him. They probably don't agree with every single thing that he says or does, but for the most part, they felt like what he believed and all that kind of stuff aligned with majority of what they believe. All right, Lala, I'll have to catch you later. I'm check it out too. You send it to my phone, right? Oh, yep, I got it. Yep, I got it. I'm gonna check it out. Have a good rest of your day at work. Thank you for tuning in. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here to come to be a troll, just tired of all the bullshit from both sides as a biracial male. And you know what, Six? I agree, bro. I'm tired of all the bullshit too. You know what I mean? I'm tired of people always talking about race. I'm tired of people always trying to divide us, as human beings. Like, I'm tired of all that, bro. Because if it was up to me, it would just be having a good old time, good vibes. If it was up to me. 'Cause that's what this whole channel was based off of to begin with, was good vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like we used to rock and roll the music and all that type of stuff. Like, but then YouTube started tripping on the music thing and started blocking a lot of things. We had to switch it up, and then we started getting into like the politics side of it. And it can be cool at times because we need to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying, in our country and things like that. different policies and all that kind of stuff needs to be addressed. 'Cause I feel like why complain about certain things if you're not doing nothing about it? You know what I'm saying? That's what really made me start to vote because I really believe in voting before years and years ago. I never believed in that. But then somebody told me, how can you complain about anything that's going on if you don't vote? And it made all the sense in the world. How can you complain about something that you're not trying to um have a solution to? Or you're not trying to fix, or you're not trying to be a part of the solution. So that's what made me start voting. So but I appreciate you, Six, though, for stopping in and giving your opinion. Because at the end of the day, with me, it's always just conversation, brother. It's never personal. I hope don't nobody out there ever take what I say about anything or to y'all personal, because y'all know that's not my character. You know what I mean? And I don't take things personal at all, but I respect everybody's opinions of how they feel. Because that's you guys have a right to your opinion. Am I going to dislike you because of your opinion? No, no. But now if you get on here and want to be disrespectful, whether to me or whether to my community or anything like that, that's where I draw the line at. Because we should all be able to have a grown man and grown woman conversation without it being disrespectful, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? As long as we can do that and we can abide by that, then that's all that matters at the end of the day. Because my community is built off of good vibes and love and respect. So if we can't respect one another when we come into this chat and we start talking about certain subjects, because certain subjects are really touchy, very sensitive subject. Like this one here is very sensitive, you know. But we can still have a conversation about it and be adults about it and give our opinions about it. And whether we feel that they're wrong or we feel that they're right, at the end of the day, it's still just somebody else's opinion. Just respect their opinion. You know, you give yours, say what you need to say, and that's that. And just move forward. There's no need to disrespect nobody, call nobody out their names and threatening people and all that kind of stuff. That's why we're so divided now as a human race because of that. Because people can't express how they truly feel. You know what I'm saying? And I say the same thing when it comes to comedy now. Like comedy is not the same as it used to be because people can't express their way or how they feel in being funny without people taking it serious. You can't say certain words now without you getting blackballed or canceled. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. Keep praying and hoping and love when you don't what else to do. It's easy as hell to love people. It's easy as hell to love people, Boxer. It's so easy, bro. It takes more energy to hate somebody and not like somebody or be racist to somebody than it does to love somebody. It takes a lot more energy, and why would you want to walk around with that hatred in your heart anyways? You know what I'm saying? So some people need to really take a look at themselves, to be honest with you. They really do. Because they're blaming everybody else, but they're not blaming themselves. Straight up. That's how I feel, man. You know, that's how I feel. That's why they work overtime to bring hate. Facts. Facts. Double overtime. To be honest with you, 12, 15-hour shifts. You know what I mean? Just to bring hate. When love is so much better, it feels so much better. You know what I'm saying? Like it just feels good. Love always feels good. That's why I love music like that, because music brings people together. No matter the color, no matter the age, it doesn't matter. Music always brings people together. That's why, again, when we first started this channel out, that's what it was all about. Was just music to bring everybody together because the world is so divided. You know, and I'm mad that YouTube changed the little policies and things like that to where you can't really put music out like that no more because, like I said, it's getting blocked or you're getting copyrighted and all this old kind of stuff. It kind of like it watered it down. Because at the end of the day, us as content creators that were reacting to music and stuff like that was free publicity. That was free marketing. It was literally allowing other people to hear your music that never even heard who you were before in their life. And that's another thing. So yeah. I would love to get back to doing music. I truly would, because like I say, that's my thing. On my other channel called Just Have, I got some music reactions over there. I'm thinking about just going over there and just doing straight music reactions over there. You know what I mean? To get that vibe going back, because I hate how politics divide the world. You know what I mean? Just like you got Democrats as the color blue, Republicans is the color red. It's like Bloods and Crips. You know what I'm saying? It's like Bloods and Crips divided. Why we just can't just do right for everybody, for our kids, so our kids can have a better future. Like, why don't people understand that? You know what I'm saying? Like why doesn't people understand that? Like, what happened to the Christian way? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not being religious or nothing like that. I know everybody got their own different, beliefs and religion and all that kind of stuff, and that's fine, that's cool. But I don't think in no religion does any of them speak about hate, or to hate somebody, or to hate a color, or hate. You know what I'm saying? I think they all speak about love that I know of. And like I said, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not all into everybody's different religion. I'm not. I'm not. You know, but I can't imagine that Catholics or you know Muslims or whatever. I don't think they teach hate. And correct me if I'm wrong. But I know me, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. You know, I got baptized and everything. So I'm not perfect, nor would I ever be perfect. But I try my best every time I get out of my bed to be a better person than I was yesterday. That's for sure. That's what I do try to do. It may not work all the time. I may fall and or whatever the case may be, but I try to catch myself. I truly do. I try to treat everybody with respect. I try to show love to everybody. I try to show up for everybody, make myself accessible for everybody. And I may not get it always in return, but that's what I try to give to the world. So when I step out into the world, outside of these walls, I try to make sure that I give love everywhere I go. I think that's why I'm so well liked by a lot of people, because I give off good energy. My aura just gives off good vibes, good energy. Because I mean, at the end of the day, what are you really mad for? You know what I'm saying? You're alive, you breathing, you're pretty healthy. You can see, you can hear, you can touch, you can feel, you can smell. You got all your limbs. What are you mad for? You know? But I don't know. That's just me. Exactly, boss. We was all made in the image of God, bro. That's what I'm saying. If you believe, you feel me? If you believe in God, there's no way that you can be racist, bro. There's no way that you can be racist. I mean, like I say, we're not perfect, and He didn't make us perfect. He could have, because He's God. He could have made everything perfect. But we're human. We sin. You know what I'm saying? We're born into sin. That's why He died for our sins. He's a forgiving God. He forgives you. You ask for forgiveness. That's what you pray for. That's what you ask for forgiveness for. But it's like, so people are so quick to judge people, man, to be judgmental, and you know what I mean? Talk about the kids' parents, and this and that, and but don't never even met the people. Never even met them. Don't know what they look like. Some people don't know what they look like. But you blaming the parents. And I'm not saying that you can't blame the parents. Like I said, in some cases you can blame the parents. It do be the parents' fault in some cases for sure, 100%. But then in a lot of cases, it don't be the parents. The parents be doing a good job with their kids, raising their kids right, trying to put them in the right schools, trying to keep them away from the wrong crowds. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I feel like I'm a pretty good parent. I'm not perfect, but I'm a pretty good parent. I try to teach my kids the right thing, the right way. I try, but does that mean I'm a failure if my kids go out and go do something foolish? When I made sure that I try to keep them away from that? No, you can't blame me for that because I'm doing what I can as a parent. You know, by teaching my 12-year-old, he's in a private school. He don't go to normal regular high schools. You know, I'm trying to keep him away from the riffraff. That's why I put him in that kind of school to keep him away from the riffraff. And he's still going through getting bullied in a private school. So what does that say? Do you blame the bully's parents for him bullying my child? I can't say yes or no to that 'cause I haven't met that guy, that the kid's parents. I don't know how these parents are raising their child. I don't know. Maybe because nowadays, let's be honest, everything's on TV, on these games that kids be playing, on their cell phones, watching reels, and you know what I'm saying? Like violence is everywhere on TV, all in the games they play, the whole 9 yards. You know what I'm saying? So before you just start placing judgment on people, man, just sometimes you gotta look yourself in the mirror, man. You just have to. You just have to. But anyway, man, I think I'm gonna get off this live. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. We had a good conversation. We had a couple trolls in here, but it's cool. Like I said, trolls are welcome also. You know, um, maybe we can have another conversation again later on this week. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely love you guys, man. I appreciate everybody. They failed him in the sense of the money, from what I see. Okay, okay. And like I said, I didn't know about all that documentary, Netflix, and all that. I didn't know nothing about that. Like that is news to me. That is crazy to me. That is crazy. Like you're using your son's situation to fund your pockets. That's crazy to me. Like, you know. So if all that is true about what everybody's saying about his parents, then you probably can blame the parents in that case. You know? But again, I never knew nothing about the Netflix thing. That's new to me. So I'm gonna check it out though. I'm try to look into that. I'm try to look into that. But anyway, man, again, I definitely appreciate everybody, man. All you guys that came stopping through, every last one of you, man. Six, Boxer Rick, uh, Steph, uh, everybody, man. Miss Maga Mandy, Sonny, everybody, even the trolls, bro. Even the trolls, even the trolls. I'm sorry, but no one in the state of New Jersey thinks Carmelo is anything but a murderer, as he brought a knife to a school and stabbed the kid in the heart in New Jersey. You cannot bring a weapon to school at all. It's all good, Six. It's all good. Like I say, bro, I don't take nothing personal, brother. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't. We cool. We still cool. I still respect you. You know what I mean, for who you are. You know what I mean? No, I never met you a day in my life, but I still respect you. You know what I mean? 'Cause I give everybody respect until they're shown not to get it. You know what I mean? So, um, I appreciate your apology. I'm not taking it to the heart or anything like that. You know what I mean? But I definitely appreciate your apology. And if I said anything wrong to you that you feel like I disrespected you, then I apologize as well. because like I said, it's not about being disrespectful. It's just about having a conversation and vibing off of each other's opinions. That's it. My opinion may be way out the ordinary. Somebody may be looking like, "Hey, what the hell you say?" Like, and I get it. But it's never meant for me to be disrespectful to anybody. Because I respect every last one of you guys. Truthfully, I really do. So um, with that being said, again, I appreciate you guys, each and every last one of you guys, for even supporting me for this long. It's been 6 years, man. 6 years. Like it's crazy when I say that. I was telling a friend of mine the other day, I never in my life thought I'd be doing YouTube, but here I am. You know, how long will it last? Only God knows. But as long as you guys keep showing up for me, I'm gonna keep showing up for you guys. And again, if you guys want to see some music reactions, you guys go check out my other channel. It's called Just Have. It's some music reactions over there. I haven't been over there in a while to react, but you guys might want to catch up on some of the music reactions that I do have over there. I would definitely appreciate that. If you guys do go over there and check them out, leave a comment, so I can see you guys. You guys might want to leave a suggestion that you might want me to react to. That'd be cool too. If you guys can do that as well. And again, I love you guys, man. I really do. I can't stress that enough. How much I really truly love you guys. Cause you guys can do anything that you want to do. Watch whoever you guys want to watch. Tune in to who you want to tune in to. But some of y'all still tune in and rock with me, even after the whole situation with the half and J thing. So that right there really shows um it shows commitment. That you guys are committed to me. It shows that you guys are faithful. I'm glad some of y'all picked sides, which is fine. I kind of knew that was going to happen anyway. Um, but at the end of the day, there's no need to pick sides. You guys can love her, love me, and still support the both of us. It's not going to cost you a dime. For you to subscribe to the channel, it's not going to cost you a dime. It's not like Netflix or Prime TV. You got to pay for a subscription, all that kind of stuff. It's absolutely free to subscribe to the channel. You like what you hear, you like what you see. You might want to you're not kind of like on the fence, straggling the fence, not quite sure. That's fine too. Just take a look at the channel. Take a look and see what you like. If you like it, cool. If not, it's not for you. And I get it. I truly do. Because sometimes some things ain't for people. You know, but I try my best to come on here and give you guys my best reaction, my best opinion on certain things. And again, some things may not sound politically correct or whatever the case may be, but it's all good. You know, it's all good. But all right, so I'm out this thing, man, because my camera about to die. It's only like 10%. But but yeah, man. So I'll catch you guys next time. Make sure you guys stay blessed. Make sure you guys always keep God first. And I'll catch you guys in the next live or the next reaction. Peace.